What's up, guys? I'm back. I know I'm not showing my face in this video because I'm kind of a little bit busy. I've been swamped with being busy this week, or I guess I should say recently, more than just this week. But I had COVID last week. I couldn't make a video or a short or anything, but we are back. I got the video coming out. I got another video coming out or short this week. But let's just jump right in. Last week we went 10-5, which is not bad. It's not bad at all. I know there's been a couple bye weeks, so it's a little bit different. But we got our first loss on the lock of the week, and we're 1-5 on upsets. The upsets have been absolutely brutal this season, but the locks have been fantastic. It just, of course, the year I picked the Eagles to beat the Jets when it's never been done before, the Jets are going to do it. But let's jump in. We're going to start with the Thursday game, the Saints and the Jaguars. The Saints, they got some injuries. Their defensive leader is going to be a game-time decision. Demario Davis is who I'm speaking of. The Jags are also riding a wave of momentum coming off big wins against the Bills in London and the blowout win against the Colts. And the Saints have just been inconsistent. So I'm going to go with the Jaguars in this one. Next, we have the Falcons and the Bucks, and this game was kind of iffy for me. Neither team's really been lighting it up, but they haven't really been playing bad either. I'm going to go with the Bucks in this one because their defense has played pretty well this year, even though the Falcons have been kind of figuring it out lately a little bit. I still think that the Bucks can get it done on defense, so give me the Bucks. Next, we have the Raiders and the Bears. The Raiders' defense has also been a lot better than I expected so far. I expected them to be bottom feeding, and they're not, especially with the absence of Chandler Jones, which is a story within itself. Their offense hasn't been great, though. Turnovers and O-line play has been their downfall, which also leads to a poor rushing attack. However, the Bears' defense sucks, and their offense is taking huge hits. Shit ton of injuries, most significant, Justin Fields, of course. So the Bears have been struggling to get wins with Justin Fields, who is a playmaker. Now they're going to have a backup, so it's going to be even harder. And I think that this is going to be an ugly game for both teams, but I'm going to take the Raiders. Next, we have the Browns and the Colts. Coming off a big win last week, the Browns beating the 49ers have been winning despite injuries. A team that I think is going to lose due to injuries is the Colts. They just lost Anthony Richardson for the season. Gardner Minshew is not as productive as AR, despite, having a lot of yards on offense, but he has a bit of a turnover problem. The Browns' defense is also elite, and so I think that the AR injury just complements to the dominance of Cleveland's defense. So not only am I going to take them to win, but they are my lock of the week. Next, we have the Commanders and the Giants. So the story of the Giants' season has been Daniel Jones running for his life because his O-line is about as strong as a wet paper bag. They've definitely been a bit disappointing this year, and they're going against one of the best front sevens in the league. I'm going to take the Commanders. Next, we have the Lions and the Ravens. This is going to be a good-ass game. I was originally going to pick the Ravens, but it's so hard for me to pick against the Lions. They haven't dropped under 20 points this year, and their defense is also pretty good, too. The Ravens, I guess I don't want to say I've been sleeping on them, but I've kind of been sleeping on them. I know that they're a solid team. I just don't really follow them that much. The Ravens, their defense is top 5 in both yards and points, but if there is one man that could take me into a situation I was skeptical about, I was scared about, it would be Dan fucking Campbell. He's going to go to war for my terrible upset of the week record. He's the only one that can save it. Give me the Lions in the upset of the week. The Bills and the Patriots. The Patriots are just not good this year. If I wanted to be boring, I would have locked up the Bills over them, but I'm not going to. This is the first time in my life that I've seen the Patriots truly be bad. If they let the Saints drop 34 on their head, I can't imagine what an actually good offense is going to do, so give me the Bills. Next, we have the Cardinals and the Seahawks. The Seahawks have been pretty good this year so far. The Cardinals, they started off pretty competitive, but I think they're losing that ability to hang in these games. Seahawks offense is good enough to win them this game, and I don't see them dropping back-to-back games. But it is a division rivalry, so you could keep that in mind, but I'm going to go with the Seahawks here. Next, we have the Steelers and the Rams. The Rams so far have been a victim of a shitty schedule, I feel. Their losses have been to the 49ers and Eagles, who are two of the best teams in the league, and the Bengals, who were bound to figure it out after a rough start, kind of just like last year. So I'd say that they're better than the 3-3 record suggests. And then the Steelers, they're just cranking out wins somehow. I don't know. Their offense is god-awful. And I think that the Rams offense is going to be too good for that shitty Steelers offense to match up or keep up against. So I'll take the Rams. Next, we have the Chargers and the Chiefs. The games between these two are usually pretty entertaining. I hope it's the same in this one, but I also think it's going to be the typical result as well. The Chargers have their defensive struggles per usual, and they just haven't really been executing in clutch situations per usual. Whether that's on Brandon Staley or Justin Herbert or whoever you want to point fingers at, they haven't been pulling through. I don't think that they're going to pull this one out. As Brandon Staley's seat is starting to fucking melt beneath him because of how he's got to be on the hot seat, right? Next, we have the Packers and the Broncos. This is definitely a game that I'm conflicted on. The Packers have been struggling as of late, but the Broncos have been struggling all year and since last year. Jordan Love didn't play great against the Lions, Raiders, or Saints, but he has a chance to bounce back against the league's quite literal worst defense. I'm not confident in picking the Packers currently, but I sure as hell am not confident in picking the Broncos, so give me the Packers. Next, we have the Dolphins and the Eagles, another matchup that I'm not super confident about. I'm confident that it's going to be probably a really good game, but I'm not confident to pick a winner. The Dolphins' offense is electric, as we all know, and the Eagles are the Eagles. But the difference in this game is that I think the Philly defense that has not done well against the pass is going to struggle, because when you have the most dangerous player in the league lined up opposite from you, it makes me want to lead toward that dangerous electric offense. So give me the Dolphins. And on Monday, the Vikings and the 49ers. This is not my ideal pick for a primetime game. The Vikings are without Jettas, and this is not the team that you want to be shorthanded against. Even if they had Jefferson, I would pick the 49ers, but it just makes me feel all the more safe picking the Niners. So give me San Francisco to close out the week. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a bit of a struggle to make any content, but I'm trying to crank it out now. I should have a little bit more time on my hands, so expect me to get back to making more frequent content like I have in recent months. I've kind of been taking it easy in October, but I've got some ideas, so stay tuned for that. As always, I'll see you in the next video.